Illustrate in 3D and bring it into After Effects, turn 3D models into voxels with one click, and make Midjourney into your junior art director. It's Motion Mondays, and if you're having trouble hitting that high note, just remember to raise your ya.
Raise your ya.
Season 2 of Severance recently wrapped up, and that surreal intro sequence perfectly captured the show's vibe with its stunning 3D animated vignettes. If you assume that some enormous studio was behind it, wrong! It was actually a fairly small team, led by Berlin-based director Oliver Lotta, whose unique and sometimes disturbing 3D work is beautifully crafted. Oliver posted on Behance showing off the title sequence, which earned a Vimeo staff pick, along with tons of process imagery, play blasts, and style frames. The making of video gives us insight into how those clever shots were pulled off, including some ingenious framing and transitions. My favorite part is the fact that the motion capture was done with Oliver himself in a mocap suit in his home. It's amazing what a small team with clever 3D setups can accomplish for such a prestige show. The Severance opener is one of those pieces that you can watch repeatedly and notice new details every time. So check out Oliver's work on his site. It's truly amazing stuff, and the link is in the description. Our friend Chris Schmidt and his company Rocket Lasso just released a sweet new Cinema 4D plugin that makes creating crazy voxel effects much easier. Voxel Mesher works seamlessly with the volume builder by converting it into 4 different types of voxel outputs. What's cool is how it integrates with everything in your scene: splines, VDB, pyro simulations, and any models you've got. It also works with MoGraph tools, so you can animate those voxels using any combination of effectors, fields, or even simulations. The demo video shows off some wild, Minecrafty looking effects, and this feels like the kind of tool that will reveal its true power through experimentation. The voxels can even take on the color of your underlying mesh for some really interesting results. It's available for $97, but you can use the code BLOCKBYBLOCK to get 15% off. Rocket Lasso has a bunch of other great tools for Cinema 4D too, so definitely check them out and let us know what you think in the comments. Our team training program continues to expand with more teams joining each week. If you're on a team of 3 or more, head to schoolmotion.com/team training to learn about it, get a demo, or request additional information. When you join team training, you get invited to our all access program, giving you entry to every School of Motion course to go through at your own pace. Go as fast or as slow as you want while learning from hundreds of hours of training covering After Effects, Cinema 4D, Blender, Unreal, design, animation, and many more topics. And this isn't just watching videos. You get the full interactive experience we're known for. Unlimited critique on your coursework, access to our 24/7 hyper-engaged worldwide community, monthly live events, verified credentials, and much more. For larger teams, we even offer floating seats, so reach out if you want more information. Can't wait to show you what we've built. Electric Theater Collective has been making incredible work since 2011, and now they're early adopters of using AI for concepting and design. Their recent collaboration between Oreo and Star Wars used Midjourney and Photoshop for the design phase, then Maya and Nuke for the actual production. I think we'll be seeing a lot of this combination: AI for initial ideas and designs, then traditional techniques for production. If you've used these AI tools, then you know you don't have nearly the control you need for final renders when you're working with clients who demand specific results. Looking at the breakdown, you can see the AI storyboard isn't exactly like the final output, but it gives you a really good idea of what the piece will look like. Making boards with these tools is often much faster than comping things by hand, which is super helpful when selling ideas to clients or when you realize you need another camera angle for your animatic. Visual effects director Kyle Cody commented, alliteration, that leveraging AI allowed for rapid visualization, providing valuable insights and creative inspiration that helped shape the storytelling. This spot gives us a glimpse into how high-end work can be made a bit faster using these new tools. So shout out to Electric Theater Collective for being on the cutting edge. In a related topic, Midjourney just released V7, its first new AI image model in nearly a year, calling it their smartest, most beautiful, most coherent model yet, with promises of frequent updates every week or two for the next couple of months. One major update is draft mode, which is half the cost and 10 times the speed of normal mode, which they're pitching as possibly the best way to iterate on ideas ever. But I actually think conversational mode is the even cooler feature that's getting less attention. V7 works with Midjourney's mood boards feature, letting you upload reference imagery just like a standard mood board to steer the model towards concepts that align with your thinking. Then you can enable draft mode for quick generations, activate turbo mode if you don't mind burning through credits faster, and use conversational mode to iterate on designs with your voice. You can just talk to ask for designs for, say, a shoe commercial with mixed media and bright colors, change the aspect ratio, then refine by asking for hand-drawn elements that look like they were drawn with a Sharpie. And once you have ideas that you like, you can enhance them out of draft mode for higher fidelity images to show clients or bring into Photoshop. I want to stress that images straight out of Midjourney are almost never good enough for actual production use, but they're getting really good for generating ideas quickly. I suspect many motion designers will start using this alongside Pinterest and other sources during that initial exploration exploration phase. You can try out V7 now if you have a Midjourney account. Time to feature some amazing work from around the industry. First, a throwback piece from almost a decade ago from the legends at Buck, Spectacle of the Real, an animated intro for a David Blaine special. It has a similar vibe to their legendary Good Books piece with trippy traditional animation, texture, an amazing color palette, crazy transitions, and one of the best voiceovers ever from Christopher Walken.
Good night, room. Good night, moon.
Next up, our friend Doug Alberts at Noodle Studio posted a really cool Rive experiment called Form and Fidget, a series of interactive pieces that work like digital fidget spinners you can play with. I've noticed most Rive experiments on social media come from UI and UX designers, and while they do beautiful work, they don't have the same vibe as what motion designers typically make. This is one of the first things I've seen in Rive that feels like an interactive piece of motion design, not just a UI element. I suspect if Doug shows this to clients, he'll be getting a lot of Rive work. And finally, I was very sad to learn that Studio Hock's King Kong drone show was an April Fool's prank. It fooled many people, including news outlets who wrote about it as if it were real. But exploring Studio Hock's website revealed they actually do create world-class drone show experiences using hundreds or thousands of drones and custom tools that they built. The King Kong piece was brilliant viral marketing that'll likely draw more attention to their actual work. Check out their site to see examples of what they've really done and learn how they do it. Seth Worley, part of the incredible VFX and Chill team that creates tutorials and live streams breaking down intricate visual effects, has just added a new title to his resume, Hollywood Film Director. Seth's feature film sketch has been making the rounds at festivals, earning rave reviews, and now there's finally a trailer you can check out because it's hitting theaters everywhere on August 6th. This is such a cool story because Seth is someone from our community who's been making incredibly valuable training content for years, making all of us better, and now he gets to cross something off his bucket list, releasing a feature film in theaters. Members of our team who've seen the film say it's amazing, and the visual effects done by a very small team, including Seth himself, make the film look far more expensive than it actually was. The trailer gives us glimpses into some of the creatures, and it sounds like a beautiful story. So congrats to Seth and to everyone who worked on the film. Mark August 6th on your calendars because a long-standing member of the motion design community is about to hit the big time. Here's a tool whose game I wasn't familiar with until EJ posted it on our Motion Mondays channel. Character Creator with version 5 coming in July. This 3D system allows you to create photorealistic humans with insane levels of detail similar to MetaHuman from Epic. Version 5 promises even better detail and resolution with adaptable subdivisions, auto texture baking, and many other improvements for artists who need the utmost in realism. The examples on their site are staggering, showing off detailed textures and the kind of complex animation that is very difficult to pull off without a tool like this. The tool also supports non-photorealistic characters, letting you get very detailed facial animation with less work than keyframing everything. It works with Maya and Blender with Unreal Engine support coming soon, and there's a free trial if you'd like to check it out. Unfortunately, it's Windows only for now. This is just another example of how many incredible apps are available to motion designers these days. It's getting harder to get away with just using one tool to do everything, especially in the world of 3D, and Character Creator is now definitely on my radar. Time to shout out our School Motion Student of the Week, Devanshu Sangai, a 2D and 3D motion designer from Mumbai, India, who just completed one of the best Explainer Camp projects I've ever seen. Explainer Camp gives students one of 3 projects to work on throughout the course, and by the end they complete a full 30-second spot from start to finish, designing, animating, sound designing, and finishing an entire piece with help from a School of Motion teaching assistant. Devanshu's piece for a fictional Google-like brand called Mombi is filled with beautiful design, great textures, clever visual metaphors, and amazing animation. To me, it's indistinguishable from a real spot for a real client, and I have a feeling this is going to get him quite a few eyeballs on his work. Amazing stuff, Devanshu. Congrats on finishing Explainer Camp. We've got our eye on you, and we cannot wait to see what you do next. ZBrush for iPad recently launched the Z Modeler feature, letting you do hard surface modeling right on your tablet. Our buddy John Jagsney put out a detailed hour-long tutorial walking step by step through the process of modeling a lightsaber. A great example because it incorporates various shapes, edges, and details. He guides you through doing a basic block out, using modifiers and beveling to add detail, creating insets and extrusions, and much more. If you're looking to dive into ZBrush for iPad and come from a traditional 3D modeling background, ZModeler is a great tool that makes getting started much easier. You can then layer in ZBrush's other sculpting tools. ZBrush is notorious for being difficult to learn, but Jags does a fantastic job breaking things down in an easy to understand way. In about an hour, you can become pretty comfortable with the tool. Check it out, we'll link to it in the description, and thank you, Jags. A piece by digital artist Ram was making the rounds on social media showing how he created an illustrated building that's actually a 3D scene using a tool called Feather 3D. I'd heard of it before, but I'd never tried it. It's a $15 iPad app with an ingenious system for creating 3D geometry, then drawing on top of it in a fully 3D viewport. Being an iPad app, it uses the Apple Pencil and touch gestures in really intuitive ways. It also exports 3D models in several formats, including GLB, which means you can bring your 3D illustrations right into After Effects and use them natively with the new After Effects 3D system. The app generates artwork with an interesting 3D style. By the nature of the app, you won't get photorealistic models, you'll get something closer to a 2D drawing with depth, and you have lots of control. The fact that it works with After Effects is awesome because it opens up cool opportunities for motion designers. Check out Feather at feather.art. For $15, it's really a steal, and it's very fun to use and quick to learn. I'd love to see more motion designers playing with Feather, bringing artwork into After Effects and incorporating it into their work. And that's it for this episode of Motion Mondays. I hope everyone has recovered from NAB. You can probably tell I still haven't. Don't forget to raise your ya and check out our team training program, which is growing like a weed. Head to schoolmotion.com/team training to learn more. If you're on a team of 3 or more, we can make sure your team is bringing their A game and improving every day with what they're able to do in motion design. All the links to everything we talked about will be in the description, so have an awesome week. I'll see you next time.